All right, welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to another video today. Today we're going to get into a variety of topics, but this first topic we are going to get into, it seems like a bunch of you loved the earlier video that we posted earlier today about VINs, searching for VINs and figuring out if your Tesla Model Y that you probably have a pending order on and you have not taken delivery yet, well, if you want to figure out if your VIN, your Tesla Model Y order, if it's coming from the Austin factory and not the Fremont factory, Austin factory only, because we talked about the Fremont factory VINs in the earlier video earlier today. So if you want to check it out, it's on that channel to figure out if your Tesla Model Y has hardware 4.0 versus hardware 3.0. So we'll take a look at it and we'll take a look at all the different ways that you can try and figure out as well. But before we get into that, let's roll that intro real quick. All right, so thanks for watching another stream. Thanks for watching another video. My name is Dennis, and I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best behind Tesla at the best financing rate. So definitely hit that subscribe if you're interested. And today's video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link down below in the description if you want to support the channel and get access to the ultimate Tesla buying guide that has links to all the credit unions and banks that are lower than Tesla's financing to financing your Tesla. So definitely check it out. Patreon link down below in the description. But let us take a look at it. So if you missed yesterday's or today's earlier video today, we talked about how you can actually figure out and get if your Tesla Model Y has hardware 4.0, if your VIN, if your Model Y is coming from the Fremont factory. It's this video right here. You can go on the channel and you can check it out if you're interested in that one. But it's basically the 10th digit. The first one is how can you figure out where your VIN is actually coming from which factory? I think it's the 10th digit. If it's A, of course, it stands for Austin, and F as the 10th digit stands for Fremont. So that's how you can figure out. So if you have a F in the 10th digit, if it's Fremont, then go check out this video. But if you're here and if you have a Austin VIN, if your vehicle or your Tesla Model Y is coming from Austin, then here is how you can actually figure out. We've found a couple different threads because I started getting pings and comments yesterday asking if you have an Austin Model Y, then how can you actually figure out? And so I've always recommended this same sort of process into actually going to Tesla Motors Club, which is a forum, and there's specifically waiting room threads where there's people just like you, just like me, that there's out there that are waiting for your Tesla Model Y. There's a good amount of them out there, depending on when people ordered, what location they're at in, and you can take a look and you can read on and on with people that have just taken delivery. They even post like when they placed their order, they post like portions of their VIN, and of course they'll also post whether they have hardware 4.0 or not. But scouring through some of the threads, here is where I found a post that definitely stuck out to me. So this one looks like this person, Alexa UA, found a VIN that had hardware 4.0. You can see it right here on the screen. And you can see they blurred out some of the VIN for some reason. And they said this one is from Austin, but not Fremont. And then down here, someone actually gave the full VIN to this exact thread. So if you look at it here, it's PA124XXX. Of course, this is a Austin VIN. You can see by this digit right here. And so if you have a VIN that's higher than 124XXX, maybe 1245 or 1241, really, we can't really figure out here. Even if you have one that's 125XXX, then you pretty much, it's not 100% foolproof, but most likely it's going to be built after this exact one that you can see on the screen. So you probably will have hardware 4. Of course, there's plenty of ways to figure out in person as well. If you, when you go to the delivery date, you can reject delivery, even though, your miles may vary. You definitely take a risk there with rejecting on site because, I've definitely heard of people getting their orders canceled by Tesla. So I don't want you to go through that. I'd rather you maybe do this, or maybe even ask your Tesla advisor, ping them before you take a visit to see if they can tell you if your vehicle has hardware 4.0 or not. But of course, when you arrive on site, when you arrive to your actual delivery appointment, you'll be able to see based upon the cameras, based upon what it actually looks like to see if it has hardware 4.0 or not. And so we definitely made a video about it yesterday where we compared all the different, what the pictures look like on the vehicle vehicles that had Hart 4.0 and which one doesn't. And of course, shout out to Kilowatts for posting this. He was one of the first people that we highlighted yesterday about Fremont factory VINs and what digit you actually have to have. And if you're confused on that one, here it is again. We can talk about it very, very quickly. But basically, if you have a Fremont build, the 10th digit is an F. Then if your VIN starts after 789 400, so even if 789 500, 600, anything like that, you most likely have hardware 4.0 with the upgraded newer, or maybe the newer cameras, not just the upgraded cameras. And how you can actually tell is if you take a look at these side repeaters. He didn't put a, okay, yeah, you can picture right here. You can see it literally looks, it's definitely bigger. It's more bubbled out. And of course, depending on how you look at it, it can also look red as well. So that's how you can tell if you take a look at it physically in person. And so definitely shout out to these couple people that posted this on the Tesla forums thread that you can actually see which of these vehicles have hardware 4.0. And so my question to you all is, if you arrive at your delivery appointment and if you don't have the hardware 4.0 cameras, are you going to cancel your order? Are you going to reject your order? Are you basically going to try and ask them to see if they can get you hardware 4.0? Or do you need a vehicle today and it's kind of just, you're going to go with it no matter what? Because right now Tesla inventory is kind of in this weird lull right now. I mean, there's plenty of vehicles still in inventory for Tesla.com and across the country, and they're starting to introduce some vehicles with actual discounts as well, especially in other markets, it's including Canada, which we'll talk about it. But there's plenty of vehicles, and this is going to be interesting because there could be. I mean, also my other question is, how much of you are actually out there that are more pressed about or really interested in hardware 4.0, and what percentage of you out there don't really care about it and you'll take delivery ASAP no matter what? But definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Let me know what your thoughts on it. We're going to jump into the next topic, but before we do that, this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link. Down below in the description is a Patreon link where you can support the channel, and there's a variety of benefits, but some of them include actually scheduling a call with me where you can ask me any questions about buying a Tesla, selling a Tesla, or even financing a Tesla. And after you join the Patreon, you get a link to my buying guide, which has links to all the resources I use to get the best possible deal at the best financing rate, including credit unions and banks on that list that all have interest rates lower than Tesla financing, lower than Tesla's 5.59%. So definitely check it out. Patreon link down below in the description. And as an added benefit, I do respond to all Patreon DMs in the Patreon app if you want to send me a message and ask me a quick question at a certain membership level. So definitely check it out. Patreon link down below in the description. Here it is on the screen if you want to check it out. But thank you for joining in. Michael, welcome. Eric's, Rajesh, Kay, and Michael again. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for supporting. We'll definitely get to all the live stream comments because that's the benefit, right? You can come in here, ask anything you want, and we will get to it. But I definitely recommend, if you are waiting for your Tesla, definitely check out Tesla Motors Club. It's a cool forum with a bunch of like-minded people just like you and me that are basically waiting for your Tesla Model Y, M3, S, or even X. So definitely some pretty interesting stuff. All right, water break. It seems like I'm getting warning messages for the stream. Hopefully everything is good. Are we good still? Let's check real quick. But if you're just joining in and you missed it, here right on the screen, here is a example Austin VIN, and if it ends after this, if you're higher than this, then you most likely have hardware 4.0. Check real quick. No, it looks pretty good. All right. But yeah, so if your VIN is higher than this, then you most likely have hardware 4.0. If it's lower than that, then that's when it probably you won't have hardware 4.0. Thanks, Eric. Thanks, River. In this next topic, Tesla is now offering discounts in this market, and it is a North American market. So we'll talk about it. But if you're just joining in, my name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best deal on Tesla at the best financing rate. So definitely hit that subscribe if you're interested. And so let us take a look at this. Found this on Reddit, and it seems like Tesla is now discounting the Tesla Model 3 inventory in Canada with discounts for the electric sedan ranging from $1,500 all the way up to $2,300. 320. So shout out to Drive Tesla for posting this. And if you're interested in finding this inventory, I mean, I know we never talk about Canada as much in the markets because for some reason, Canada just does not seem to always be as aggressive as America, North America. But taking a look here, you can see that from this headline, this article, there seems to be a bunch of Tesla vehicles, at least in the Model 3, that have various discounts. So very interesting stuff. And if you want to take a look at Tesla inventory in Canada, you can actually do that via waitingfortesla.com. You can switch it, go to the homepage, go to Canada for the drop down here, and you can then switch it to Canada and then see all the different discounted inventory out there. And you can see if by switching it to demo, there's actually vehicles all the way up from $4,800 all the way up to $6,400 off. So definitely pretty aggressive in Canada, and it's good to see that Canada is also following suit with discounts in America. But definitely some interesting stuff. Let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know what you're thinking. We're going to jump into the next topic, but before we do that, this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link. Down below in the description is the Patreon link where you support the channel and get access to the ultimate Tesla buying guide. So definitely check it out if you're interested. Kay saying, thank you for the $5. Thank you for the donation. You asked the question, right? Do you really think Tesla will stop making the S and X? If so, what will be the replacement? So the point with that was that some people are thinking that Tesla will probably kill the S and the X and maybe revamp it, maybe make the Y a bigger Y that could actually be a true third row on the same platform so that some people could see that, and then maybe build out the 3 a little bit as well, because just going by the numbers, just going by the delivery and production numbers, shout out to Troy Tesla for posting this, you can actually see, like, just taking a look at the top graph, which is the American markets, right? Model 3, 52,000 units in Q2. Model Y for Fremont, 56,000 units of production, and Model Y Texas, 53,000 units of production. So combined, that's what? Over 150,000 units. And then you take a look at Model S and X, and that first box right here, only 8,000 units. So, you know, there in each of these Model 3s and Model Ys, that's what, 40 to 50K of revenue each one. And then you got one Model S or Model X, that's $100,000 of revenue. So easily you can see the volume play is what the Tesla probably makes a lot of their profit from. And Model S and X is just a small sliver, really just halo cars at this point to drive that brand or Tesla brand, because probably people see the nice look of the Model S and the X, but they realize they can just purchase the Model 3 and the Model Y. I mean, certainly that was our stepping stone. We bought the Model 3 first, and then they got the Model Y, and then we got the Model S, and then now finally the Model X. But it's really interesting having the Model X now, which a delivery video is 100% coming out this week. We've got the thumbnail all squared away, so we'll 100% post that. But the Model X, as expensive as it is certainly the most quality issued ridden vehicle, the Tesla, that we've had so far, which is fun. I mean, the doors don't have a lot of issues, but hopefully we'll get it fixed. We've got a service appointment coming up this week, but it's interesting because it is the most expensive and it's definitely got the most issues at the ends of the day. But thanks for asking that question, Kay, and thanks for the $5 dono. Definitely appreciate that. But thanks for everybody for coming in. Thanks for hitting that like button. Thanks for the comments. Thanks for the subscribes. A couple channel announcements. We've got a giveaway going on the channel. We're giving away this Electron EV charger. Shout out to Electron for sending us this. It's going to be, the giveaway is ending in just a few days, where we're going to be picking the giveaway winner this Wednesday live on stream. And if you want to join in on this giveaway, you got to go to our community page on the YouTube channel page. It's right here, this tab. Scroll down just a little bit to right here. It's this post. And then you got to click this video because the instructions to enter into the giveaway are on that video right here. Good luck to everybody. Thank you again to Electron for sponsoring, and we'll be deciding and shipping the giveaway prize this Wednesday. Do not fall for any of the scammers out there. There's plenty of them that will want you to pay for shipping for some reason. Do not fall for those people out there. I would never ask you for shipping. In this next topic, it looks like Model 3 long-range deliveries have begun, which is interesting because we certainly thought for a while that potentially this could be the new Highland refresh, but it seems like some people are actually getting the brand new reintroduced Tesla Model 3 long range, and they're talking about it. But if you're just joining in, my name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best behind Tesla at the best financing rate. So definitely hit that subscribe if you're interested. And today's video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link down below in the description if you want to support the channel, but more on that later. All right, so let us take a look at this. We'll back it up just a little bit if you don't know what this is and why we say reintroduce, because the Model 3 long range was basically disabled and you were not able to place any sort of order for it for about 6 months. If we take a look at the Tesla price history chart, we can see all the different price histories of all the different times in which Model 3, Model Y, S, and X is where the base price was. And it looks like in August of 2022. So almost what? 7 months ago, 9 months ago, that's when Tesla disabled ordering of the Model 3 long range. It was killed at a price of $58,000 and then reintroduced for about almost over $10,000 less at $47,240. And so for a while, when you clicked on this, when you placed an order, it said estimated delivery June of 2023. Another interesting thing is that this Model 3 long range only qualifies for half of the tax credit, does not qualify for the full $7,500 and only qualifies for $3,750 of the tax credit. So most people speculated because this probably has the LFP China battery, just like the Model 3 standard range. And so that's why it does not qualify for the full $7,500 federal tax credit. And that's why the Model 3 Performance, for whatever battery chemistry or for whatever it is, qualifies for the full $7,500. And so it seems like we are already in June, even though it's May 29th, and really there's only 2 to 3 days left in the month. But it seems like people are actually getting delivery of the Model 3 new long range already. And because, well, it seems we're just basically basing it off of this thread. So this is in the Model 3 Reddit thread. You can see here, quote, folks taking delivery today. Quote, I've seen a couple people are getting their long range delivery today and want to hear any updates from them. Hardware 4, LFP, anything else different. So taking a look at it, it seems like this is a top voted post from Better Historian. It says same 73 kilowatt battery as previous long range Gen 3 computer. So it looks like Tesla is not giving hardware 4.0 to any of the Model 3 deliveries, and it is only on the Model Y that is getting the hardware 4.0. So this was a good post. Dang, curious why they drop in the tax credit then, because if it's the same battery as the previous long range, then it potentially should qualify for the full $7,500 federal tax credit. Of course, this thread is only a couple hours old, but it is pretty still interesting to see that Model 3 long range deliveries have started to get off the line. And it's definitely interesting to see. We'll hopefully see if we'll get more information, more pictures. But if you have taken delivery of a Model 3 long range recently, please let us know. Please drop it in the comments down below or even on the live stream to see which vehicles, like, do you have hardware 4.0 or do you even care? And also what battery do you have? But of course, we can take a look at waitingfortesla.com and see the inventory chart to see if there's any of them in stock. And it seems like there is 0 Model 3 long ranges in stock, which makes sense, right? Hopefully these are all going to people that will be taking delivery of the new Model 3 long range. But I certainly was hoping that this would be the Model 3 refresh, but it seems like that is still going to be a few more ways away from that, a few more months. But definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Let me know what your thoughts on it. We're going to jump into the live stream comments, but before we do that, this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link. Down below in the description of the Patreon link where you can support the channel, and there's a variety of benefits, so definitely check it out if you're interested. All right, let's see, what do we got? Should the average person worry about hardware 4.0? What's the single most important feature? I honestly have not worried about hardware 4.0. It's really only if you're going to keep the car for more than 3 to 5 years and you are investing, keyword investing, in full self-driving. If you believe in the robo-taxi future and all of that, if you keep your car for 3 years, I would say there's always going to be another Tesla. There's always going to be another one that you can purchase, and so that you can always get it on the next go around. From my experience, when I bought the 2019 Model 3, back then there was all this hype about hardware 3.0 versus hardware 2.5. And everybody was saying like, oh, you need hardware 3.0 because you need it for the full self-driving robotaxi and all that stuff. And that seemed to not be the case as it is right now, because we're now moving to hardware 4.0. So really, I'm not exactly 100% too invested in it. I feel like most people keep the car 3 to 5 years, and there's always going to be another Tesla, just like there's always going to be another iPhone, Android phone, Samsung phone, or anything like that. But if you're just joining in, welcome. If you are interested in figuring out if your Tesla Model Y has the hardware 4.0 VIN and it's from Texas, here is where you can actually figure it out. So I've always recommend going to Tesla Motors Club and going to these waiting room threads to see who has taken delivery and what information you can grasp from them. And this one seems to be from Alex UA. It says that they found a Austin Tesla Model Y VIN that has hardware 4.0 as from the screen. And you can see this is the exact VIN. So if your Austin VIN, how you can tell is the 10th digit, if it's an A, that's Austin. If it's higher than 124XXX, so 125XXX or anything like that, then you most likely will have hardware 4. Fingers crossed. I mean, you never know what can happen. Fremont is a different story. Fremont's a different VIN. Check out yesterday's video, or the video actually came out today if you want to figure out if your Fremont VIN has hardware 4.0. Michael, howdy. Thanks for coming in. Eric, yo, thanks for coming in. I got hardware 00. I'm Tesla list. Love it, Eric. Thanks for coming in. You'll get one soon. No worries. Oh, and also, if anybody's out there, if you're about to place an order for a Tesla, or if you're about to find one in inventory to lock one down, please consider using our Tesla referral code link down below in the description. If you order a Tesla using our link or buy one from inventory, you can get up to 2,500 credits, which you can then use for free supercharging miles. If you get 1,500 credits, that equals to 500 supercharger miles. So thank you to everybody that's used our referral code in the past, and thank you to everybody that's going to be using it in the future. And on top of that, there's Tesla part discount codes down below in the description as well. We've got 3D Mats USA for premium floor mats that are really nice, actually. Definitely check it out. Tamai, Jawa, Tesloid, and MAGBAK. So if you're about to buy some Tesla accessories, definitely check out some of the discount codes down below in the description. And thank you to everybody that has used our codes in the past and in the future. Rajesh, thanks for coming in. Hi, welcome to you. Happy good evening. Let's see. Can you reject your Model Y because it doesn't have hardware 4.0? Do you just tell them you want to wait? So quick answer is yes. But your risk may vary, your miles may vary, because I've definitely heard of people getting their orders canceled from rejecting. So just be very wary of that. But that's a good question. Maybe I'll research some more use cases to see if people have been getting rejected and what's been happening. Because it's definitely tough. Let's see. Ben, my Model Y delivery is scheduled for and a lower VIN than posted for Fremont. Should I cancel or reject delivery? Makes me nervous, but I would definitely like hardware 4.0. What does that look like? So Ben, what I would recommend to you is actually, and that's probably a good video. That's a good video topic, maybe about rather rejecting and really my thoughts, but I'll give you the quick thoughts. Basically, I would say, just say you're out of town, try and stall them as much as possible, and then let them release your VIN to someone else. They put your order on hold, make sure they don't cancel it. Tell them you're out of town, that you can't take delivery right now. They'll release your VIN to someone else and then reassign you a VIN at a later time frame. And then hopefully, fingers crossed, that next VIN will have hardware 4.0. Try that. Or you can maybe even try being straight up with them and see as well. But I bet there's a lot of people trying to do the same exact thing, so your miles may vary. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks again, Kay. Warfox, when's the end of the giveaway? Actually, in 2 days on May 31st. Hardware 4.0 Model 3 is very possible, but I think they will wait for the Highland. Yeah, 100%. At this point, I think Model 3 with the Highland is going to be more than likely what's going to happen. And that's probably going to be what? September, October? It's definitely interesting that they're releasing Model 3 long range so soon before the Highland comes out. And so I mean, we could predict like there's probably going to be, I mean, there's already 800 Model 3s in stock right now across the country, maybe even more. And so we could easily predict in the very near future, this is not even piping in Model 3 long ranges. So this number could grow to a bigger number in the very near future as Model 3 long range inventory starts to stack up as well. Because as we discussed, as we figured out earlier, Model 3 long range pricing just does not make sense at all because a Model Y long range is $1,000 cheaper if you factor in the $7,500 federal tax credit. Let's see, Korean battery possibly. That could make sense then. Looking to add 2 more Model Y to Turo. Turo's good, depending on which state you're in, depending on which market you're in. We have definitely Turo'd in the past. I'm not sure if I would do it again. Maybe unless if I bought Model 3s, like the rear wheel drive ones, maybe. And if I got like a nice tax credit on both, then maybe it would make sense. But Turo is tough, I guess, at the end of the day. But Tochi, thanks for the comment, man. Love your channel. No, thank you. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for the like button and the comments and everything. I'm waiting to buy a Model 3 in June. Thanks to you. Patochi, thank you. Definitely June is going to be a great time. All the incentives are going to be coming up and hopefully you're going to use our referral code as well. Thank you. Thank you for that. Dustin, welcome in. Thanks for coming in. I like the short video updates. I get notifications on my phone when you shoot them out. No, thank you, Dustin. Some people don't like that. I just try and churn as much videos as much as possible and then try and live stream. We've been live streaming almost every single day since September. It's been interesting. Black interior or white interior? I'm still indecisive. Well, Batochi, it's funny. I've had 4 Teslas so far, Model 3, Model Y, S, and X. So I've gone through all of them. And I've wanted literally white interior every single time, but you know me, I got to get the best deal. I only will buy it if I've got some sort of discount, something like that. And every single one has been black interior, including this last one. But leave it up to Tap Test. If you haven't seen this product from Tap Test, they have a white interior seat cover, which, I think the earlier versions were not good because they would cover airbags, but now the newer versions do not cover the airbags at all. And they actually shipped me this huge box right over here that's sitting to the corner. That is the white interior set. We haven't installed them yet because, it takes me forever to do anything, but we will now have white interior very, very soon. So shout out to Tap Test for shipping us the Model X seat covers, and we're gonna have a great time trying to install them. But I would say try and get the white interior. More that I look at the Highline leak, the less I'm interested. But Hardware 4 would be nice to have for a full self-driving sub, but it'd be more than fine with Hardware 3.0. Also, the stock list is just a no for me. Haha, Warfox. Yeah, 100%. Like, you get used to the buttons though. And then like instead of going like this, you just hit the button. It's actually kind of nice, Warfox, but I certainly get it. When do you think Tesla's Vision Smart Sum will be available for the 2023 Model Y? Maybe next year at this point. Where do you think the word Highland came from? Actually, no idea. I think it's something about like efficiencies or something like that. Someone pointed that out, but exactly not sure. All right, what else we got? We got 2 topics about EV credits. So before we get into that, who's from Maryland? If you're in Maryland, give me a thumbs up in the chat if you live in Maryland. And if you're in Colorado, give me a peace sign in the chat so we can see which one of these topics are relevant for you. And maybe you're not in each of them. That'd be hilarious. Actually, let's do this. We'll do a poll. Maryland, or do you live in one of these states? Oh, hopefully I spelled these right. Neither. There we go. Neither. Let's see if there's anybody in the chat because this will only be relevant for those 2 states. One topic at a time. All right, I guess we'll do Colorado first. In this next topic, we're going to talk about how Colorado has beefed up their electric vehicle tax credits, and now you can get up to $5,000 added off of as a credit for, I was going to say off, but it's an incentive that you can get from the state level for buying a Tesla vehicle, which is pretty massive. Of course, this stacks on top of the $7,500 federal tax credit that you typically will get for buying a Tesla Model Y. So we'll take a look at it. But if you're just joining in, my name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best deal on Tesla at the best financing rate. So definitely hit that subscribe if you're interested. And today's video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link down below in the description if you want to support the channel, but more on that later. All right, so let us take a look at this. Shout out to Electric for posting this. It looks like only 11% or one person is from Colorado, so congrats to you. But Colorado's new EV state tax credits are fantastic. So it looks like this actually went into effect on May 11th, and you can look at it starting from July 1st. All Colorado residents who purchase or lease an electric vehicle with an MSRP up to $80,000. So of course, some trucks will actually qualify. I'm thinking Ford F-150 Lightning, and Rivian doesn't qualify, but you can get an extra EV tax credit of $5,000. This tax credit will be in place until January 1st of 2025. So basically almost a year and a half. And then that's when it will drop incrementally until 2029. It looks like on top of that, next year there'll be an eligible under $35,000 electric tax credit for $2,500. But that's pretty crazy, because if you think about $5,000 on top of the federal tax credit for Tesla Model Ys, that brings it to what? Almost like you could pretty much get a Model Y all-wheel drive standard range, $7,500 down to $40,000 for basically $35,000 before taxes, before taxes, DMV fees, anything like that. So it's a fantastic deal to get a Model Y standard range in, of course, Colorado. So if you're in Colorado, congrats to you, and let me know how it goes with this EV tax credit, because that's a pretty crazy program on top of a state level. Of course, California, it's only $2,000 up to $7,500 if you're low income, and so definitely really good stuff for Colorado residents. So definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Let me know what your thoughts on it. We're going to jump into the live stream, or jump into the next topic. But before we do that, this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link. Down below in the description is the Patreon link where you can support the channel. But there's a variety of benefits, but some of them include actually scheduling a call with me, where you can ask me any questions about buying a Tesla, selling a Tesla, or even financing a Tesla. And after you join the Patreon, you get a link to my buying guide, which has links to all the resources I use to get the best possible deal at the best financing rate, including credit unions and banks on that list that all have interest rates lower than Tesla financing, lower than Tesla's 5.59%. So definitely check it out. Patreon link down below in the description. All right. What else we got? If you're just joining in, welcome. If you've got a Austin VIN Tesla Model Y, then here's how to tell if you have Hardware 4.0. You basically take your VIN. First, how you can tell if you have an Austin VIN is the 10th digit. If it's an A, or A for Apple, then it's from Austin. And if your VIN ends after 124XXX, so like 125XXX, then you most likely will have Hardware 4, because this vehicle right here on the screen from Tesla Motors Club, it's a waiting room thread. This VIN right here had Hardware 4.0, and most likely if your VIN is produced after this VIN, then most likely your vehicle will also have Hardware 4.0 as well. But at the end of the day, it could go, it's not 100% bulletproof, but most likely you'll have the Hardware 4.0 as well. And if there's anybody that has already taken delivery of Hardware 4 from an Austin factory, let us know your VIN, at least like the last 6 digits. And of course, we can fact check this and see if this is actually 100% correct or not. All right, what else we got? In this next topic, Rivian actually just teased their R2, which is actually only supposed to be like $40,000 $100,000. So maybe Model Y killer? We'll definitely talk about it. But if you're just joining in, my name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best deal on Tesla at the best financing rate. So definitely hit that subscribe if you're interested. And today's video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link. So definitely check it out if you're interested. So let us take a look at this. Shout out to Inside EVs. It looks like in Rivian's latest Q&A video with RJ Scringe, their CEO, I don't know, Scaringe, can't pronounce that. They tease an R2 down in their video, and you can see this is the silhouette of it, I guess. It basically is a smaller SUV. I mean, if it's anything like their R1S, which is a definitely nice looking vehicle. We started to see these on the roads all over California, and it is really, really nice. I've even considered, should we even switch to this vehicle? We've got an R1T on order, but I just can't justify paying almost $90,000 for a truck that's not a Tesla. And so, but it's really nice actually. Like I gotta say, Rivian's interior is definitely nicer than Tesla's interior. And that's, I don't know if that's saying a lot or not, but R1Ts, I mean, the lowest you can build them at is, I want to say like $92,000. So it's definitely up there. But if this is going to be a smaller R1S, then that would be very, very nice in the end. I mean, they've already talked about that they've been working on a R2, which is going to be a smaller SUV, and they've cited that it will probably go into production as early as 2025, 2026, which is a long ways, a while right now. But the biggest thing to me is that it's expected to have an MSRP of around $40,000, which people are going to eat that up. People love the R1S and the R1T already. So it'd certainly be crazy to see if this vehicle comes out at that price range, if we're still at that price range, especially in 2025 or 2026. But definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Let me know what your thoughts on it. We're going to jump into the live stream comments. But before we do that, this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link. Down below in the description is the Patreon link where you support the channel. So definitely check it out if you're interested. All right. What do we got? Thanks for jumping in, everybody. Thanks for supporting. Let me just pull up this. Let me pull up the, if you're just joining in, if you've got an Austin VIN, I saw some people post it, so let's see if we can pull them up. But let's go through some of these comments first. 803, go up to, that means we'll have a big discount. Yeah, 100%. Model 3s keep going up. We're going to see big discounts very, very soon. Does Dad beta work on hardware 4? Maybe. I'm going black interior. Okay, nice. I mean, black interior is definitely nice, especially once you get the tints and everything. White interior, definitely, you need to get darker tints because it shows through. Marks just hopped on, refused my Model Y long range today. Ooh, so are you saying it didn't have hardware 4.0? So Marks, what happened then? Like after you refused it, what they tell you? Do you still have your order? And did they guys release your VIN back into the queue and then you have to wait for another one? And what's your newest? I guess the biggest question to me is, did they cancel your order or not? Hopefully they didn't. They most likely didn't. And what's your latest estimated delivery date? Did you get pushed all the way till July, maybe August, or does it say like June, July? What does it say at this moment? It was confirmed it was hardware 3. I'm on hold, which they send me a new VIN, which should have hardware 4. Nice, Mark. Nice job staying with it. That's for sure. Highland was a leak from data mining. Yes, 100%. My new Model Y long range will now be pushed out closer to the end of the quarter since I refused the first one, so maybe I'll get some perks. Yeah, exactly. I mean, we should probably see more incentives, and also you're locked in on price, so you have nothing to worry about with Model Y price increases, because I certainly feel like Tesla's going to increase the price. They might actually do $3,750 extra discount on the Model 3 end of June, so they can do somewhat match the $7,500. Yeah, 100%. I could easily see that, plus maybe a lower APR financing rate, plus maybe free supercharging, plus, I mean, they're already basically doing free option credit right now by discounting all vehicles by $1,000 to $1,200. So they're basically saying, hey, you can get free paint or free rims or free whatever. And so I would say if this gets down to like, dare I say 29 after incentives or anything like that, we might just have to pick one up just because. I have PA103XXX. I went to the dealer and saw PA098 with hardware 4. Okay, good. So it seems like some VINs lower than this lower than PA124 potentially have hardware 4. So thank you, Bay and Ray. It seems so. I guess we'll have to try and put that in the comments on that video. Any guess it would be hardware 4? Let's see. What do you have? Ray, you have 125. Then yeah, it seems like you'll most likely have hardware 4. Rivian should just adopt the NACS. Yeah, I feel like a bunch of other EV companies, side EV companies, are probably going to be adopting NACS very, very soon. Is there any other changes with hardware 4 besides the cameras and computer? No, that's basically it. Just the computer and the cameras upgraded, so it's more higher resolution and something like that. But that's another question. Like, which OEM do you think will adopt NACS next? Is it going to be some bigger OEMs? I don't think it's going to be Mercedes because they've invested in ChargePoint very recently, but maybe Rivian, Polestar, VinFast. VinFast would be interesting. Bay Ray, it had the red camera lens. Okay, then yeah, you probably have the hardware 4.0. If it's got the red camera lens and it's a little bit raised like this around the surrounds, then you most likely have the hardware 4 at the end of the day. But if you're out there, just quick channel announcements. If you're out there, if you have not placed an order for your Tesla or you're going to place an inventory order on a Tesla, we'd appreciate if you use our Tesla referral code down below in the description, because then you can get free supercharging credits for your Tesla. If you get a Model 3, 1,500 credits equals 500 supercharger miles. And if you just bought a Tesla and you need Tesla accessories, definitely check out our Tesla accessory code. Discount codes down below in the description as well. We got 3D Mats USA if you want a premium Tesla all-weather floor mat that is actually really nice for your Tesla, as well as Tamai, Jawa, Tesloid, and MAGBAK for a bunch of different discounts. So definitely check out discount codes down below in the description. And thank you to everybody that has used our discount codes and our referral links in the past or in the future. Mark's on hold for 2 weeks, which is the max, before they open me up to have a new VIN assigned. So I'm on hold until June 12th. My sales advisor and I are thinking 2 to 4 weeks after that, just a random guess. Okay, yeah, that's actually really nice of them to hold it for 2 weeks. So looks like you guys are pretty good. Dennis, I work at Tesla and I'm looking to buy a Model 3. How much resale value would full Alpha FSD add to a long-range Model 3? So you're probably doing that because Tesla employees get free full self-driving, but I'm not sure that the full self-driving stays on the vehicle if you sell the vehicle because you're an employee. I would look into that 100%, but if it does, street value of full self-driving is like $2,000 to $3,000 on top of it. So, I mean, if you're an employee, you get it for free, so you might as well just add it no matter what. But is it going to add that much more? If it's going to add that much more value, probably not at the end of the day. I mean, but if it's for free, just do it, right? Just got to use Model 3 in April for $32K. Should I trade in for a new 2023 model? If they lower the pricing, do they increase inventory? Yes. If you can swing the loss, if there's any loss on your used Model 3. I don't think so, because 2019 Model 3 for $32K, there's probably a lot of people in that price range looking to buy that. Hardware 4 is supposedly coming with front and back long radar. If it's still not confirmed, it is still not confirmed, sadly. Yes. Can a delivery be rejected without any reason given? That's a good question. Usually it's for build quality is what you would cite to get it rejected. I don't know if you can reject it for just basically saying hardware 4.0, but Marks, what reasoning did you say to reject your Tesla? Any way to get full self-driving for a month for free? Driven? Not at the moment. It doesn't seem like it. Dennis, make a vlogging daily channel outside of news on Tesla EVs. Well, we've been just uploading our purchasing videos on the channel, and if you go way back, we used to do like all kinds of crazy stuff that was regarding Tesla. I used to record autopilot drives every single day and post it. That was an interesting time as well. We were just trying to figure it out, but now I guess we've kind of figured out with these Tesla EV news. But all of our delivery videos, tint, ceramic, parts, accessory videos, all of them are going on the same channel, so you guys can all watch it and not have to go somewhere else. I'll buy a Yugo before a VinFast. Vic, I mean, seems like VinFast is getting a lot of flack, but, you know, I still want to try them out. Outside of, yes. Calvin, thanks for coming in. What's going on? My friend ordered a Model Y long range coming from Fremont, and he's wondering if there's a possibility that he will get Matrix headlights. It seems like Matrix headlights is pretty much a thing now, so most likely they'll get Matrix headlights. I would say go to the Tesla Motors Club forum and check out these waiting threads, and so you can actually see which vehicles, or maybe send it to them so they can see which people, where they've ordered from, what VIN they've got, order queue, and if it has Matrix headlights or not. But most likely he's going to have Matrix headlights no matter what. Kenny, it does stay. Okay. Irvin, sorry, I missed that. Irvin, our Model Y long range delivery will be on Saturday. I hope we get hardware for PA122. So that means you're Austin. And Austin seems like 122 is a little bit lower, but someone said, because you have to be higher than 124, but someone earlier said that there was a 098 that had hardware 4.0. So Erwin, fingers crossed. It should stay because employees need to pay the tax on FSD. Oh, I didn't know that, Driven. That would make sense. Ed, PF 7881888, can't refuse since turning in my other vehicle to a different place tomorrow night. PF, so Fremont 788, you should be fine actually. What was the video yesterday? What was the VIN yesterday? I want to say it was, can't even find it anymore. Oh, it's right here. PF 788. Ooh, a little bit lower. So, I mean, fingers crossed. But, I mean, at the end of the day, hardware 4.0, hardware 3.0, it's still good either way at the end of the day. I'm sure if they employed for more than 3 to 6 months to get FSD, I don't know actually. I think you can get it right away. Very active in here tonight. Very cool. Thanks for all you do. Thank you, Marks. Thanks for coming in. I rejected for no hardware 4. They canceled my appointment, so I didn't even have to drive there. We did it via text. Oh, interesting, Marks. Nice, nice. Very cool that you were able to cancel it and do it before you actually got there, and you were able to cite that reason for hardware 4. So seems like that's a good, legitimate reason, and Tesla employees are accepting that. So that's good. What's the cutoff number for PA built to get hardware 4.0? Thank you very much. Ray, it seems like from this thread on Tesla Motors Club, it's PA124XXX. I don't know if it's the cutoff because someone earlier came in here and said it's 098 as well, or above 098. So it seems like if you're within that, I mean, if you're higher than PA124, like 125, then you should be good at the end of the day. Harvey, thanks for coming in. Welcome back. Matrix lights are very common now, especially if they're coming from Fremont. Yeah, 100% for sure. I can see hardware for photos, but why haven't any photos been released showing the higher resolution from the new cameras? I think TCE, that hype was pretty much gone because I want to say Kilowatts did that. He went to the showroom and got a Model S and Model X camera resolutions already, and basically it's higher resolution. Carlo, hey, I remember getting an order update a couple weeks ago regarding the car without ultrasonic sensors, instead rely on camera vision. Does it mean it comes with hardware 4.0? No, that does not. Neither of those match to each other. So that's the USS parking sensors on the bumper, and that's why there's no Tesla parking sensors on that. PF788 is hardware 3. I had P8788-4XX. Okay, yeah, so that makes sense then. All right, we got one last topic, and Calvin, if you're still in here, I apologize in advance. Because in this next topic, it seems like another state has beefed up their EV tax credit as well. And so shout out to people that live in Maryland, maybe the 7 people that voted in this poll on the channel. But Maryland has increased their EV tax credit to up to $3,000. So we'll take a look at it. But if you're just joining in, my name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best behind Tesla at the best financing rate. So definitely hit that subscribe if you're interested. And today's video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link down below in the description, where you can support the channel and get access to the ultimate Tesla buying guide out there that has links to all the credit unions and banks that have lower interest rates than Tesla financing. So definitely check it out. Patreon link down below in the description. But let us take a look at this. So shout out to Maryland.gov. They just updated that. If you take delivery for an electric vehicle after July 1st, or available as July 1st, I don't know the exact dates, you can get up to $3,000 as an EV tax credit for buying certain vehicles. It seems like this is a base price of a vehicle, electric vehicle, not exceeding $50,000. $8,000. So looks like only a couple types of Model 3s, or all Model 3s qualify, or actually two of the Model 3s qualify, and Model Y, only some of those Model Ys qualify. But that can stack up to a pretty nice price. Of course, the cheapest Model Y is a $47,490, and so that Model Y qualifies if you don't add on too many options, or really it's just the base MSRP, so you're fine. So that means that a Model Y in Maryland can be about $37,000 to $38,000 before Tesla fees and DM fees, which is a pretty nice price for a brand new Tesla vehicle. If you're in California, then you know about CVRP most likely, and that's $2,000 to $7,500. And so that brings it up. There's a lot of states out there that are beefing up their electric vehicle credits, which is very, very nice to see. I mean, now we've reviewed Colorado, Maryland, and of course California as well. But definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Let me know what your thoughts on it. Let me know what you're thinking. We're going to jump back into the live stream comments. But before we do that, this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link. Down below is the Patreon link. We support the channel. So definitely check it out if you're interested. All right, let's see what else we got. If you're just joining in, welcome. We talked about Fremont VINs. If you got a VIN higher than 789,500, then you most likely have hardware 4.0 with the new fancy cameras. And if you are Texas VIN, if you're Texas VIN above PA124XXX, maybe even as low as 098XXX, so if you're above that threshold, give or take, you most likely also have hardware 4.0. But shout out to Marks. Shout out to Marks Mandalis. Sorry if I butchered that. Shout out to Marks. He actually noted that if you don't have this VIN or higher than this VIN, then you most likely don't have hardware 4.0. But Tesla representative, Tesla advisors, via text, you can actually cancel your delivery and push out your order for 2 weeks, and so that you can get hardware 4.0 next month or maybe the month after. But of course, different story if you need a vehicle, if you're trading in a vehicle, or if you got lower APR financing rates, then you kind of have to take delivery. But there are ways. Your risk may vary, your miles may vary. There are ways to get hardware 4.0 if you so must want it at the end of the day. Just picked up my Model Y today. PA127 looks like hardware 3.0. Okay, so that matches this, I guess, give or take, which is interesting. So PA127 is higher than this, and it's the old one. I guess here's a way to check PK76. If your cameras look like this, that's hardware 4.0. If your cameras look like this, that's hardware 3.0. Rachel ordered a Model Y in May. DDD is pushed to June 3rd. Sales advisor confirmed it's hardware 3 and based on build date. I'm getting full self-driving. Should I wait for hardware 4? Reject. The SA keeps saying they haven't rolled it out. Well, your SA is wrong. That's the more fact. And if you're paying for full self-driving, then I would 1000% push out that order and not take delivery of hardware 4. Most likely, the people I say that just take the delivery of your Tesla vehicle as hardware 3 is for people that do not pay for full self-driving, because I don't actually believe in full self-driving. But if you're 100% getting full self-driving, then you 1000% should try and get hardware 4.0 cameras. Are the VIN numbers come in sequential numbers? Thanks. Yeah, it's not necessarily sequential, but it does go up in a certain, I don't know what the pattern is, but it does go up. New York is lacking with these EV tax credit. Yeah, New York is like probably the worst. New Jersey is like probably one of the better ones that I've heard. Maybe now even Colorado beats it up to 5,000. But New York for sure. I've never heard of EV tax credits from New York. Calvin, dang, that wouldn't work for me, but I did hear about it from a friend who's planning to take delivery of a Bolt around that time. Yeah, that's right, because you got the performance, so you would not have qualified either way, which makes sense. Warfox, let's go. I'm so hyped now. Yeah, exactly. Moran, what's with the MD question? It's basically Maryland. If you're in Maryland, they have beefed up their electric vehicle tax credit program as well. And now you can get up to $3,000 not off as a credit for buying a EV in Maryland. Are hardware 4 updates for Asian regions like Japan? Ooh, I actually don't know on that question. MD gets more? Yes, MD gets $3,000 more if you follow these programs right down here. And the big one here is it has to be under $50,000. So really that's only one Tesla Model Y that qualifies, and that is the Model Y all-wheel drive standard range, which if I were to buy a Tesla again, I'd probably just get that one. Ordered a Model Y Performance a month ago in Maryland. Still no VIN. Oh, so then Moran, unfortunately, you would not qualify for the added extra 3,000 tax credit. PK, yep, looks like hardware 3. Ooh, okay, well, I mean, either way, as long I kind of like to think of it just like new iPhones. Hardware 4, hardware 3.0, because when we got our 2019 Model 3, way back then, not way back when, it was only like 3 years ago, 4 years ago. Back then, the talk of the town was hardware 2.5 versus hardware 3. And everybody was like, oh, you got to get the hardware 3.0 because full self-driving is not going to work. And of course, I fell for the full self-driving. Of course, back then, full self-driving was $6,000, financed into the loan, of course. And so I fell for it. I got it. And of course, we never got any of the full self-driving features as promised. Today, it's a little bit better because there's now full self-driving beta. But I can tell you it's probably going to be the same thing. Give it another 3 years. It's going to be hardware 4.5 or hardware 5.0, and we're still going to be on our way to Robotaxi. Incognito, if I make $150K a year with no debt, can I afford a Model 3 long range? Well, number one, Incognito, at $150K a year single, you do not qualify for the $7,500 federal tax rate because it's got a $150K limit. So the first thing I would do is contribute to your 401k to lower your adjusted gross income. That will bring you down under $150K, and then figure out can you then afford a Model 3 or Model Y after that. Should I get a Model Y now or wait until next year? Model Y, if you need a car, you might as well just get it now, lock it in, order it, place an order, place an inventory, deposit one on a vehicle, and of course, use our referral code down below in the description so you can get a referral code or Tesla supercharging miles. Because Model Y next year might get a refresh, but we got to get through the Model 3 Highland refresh first, and we've got to get through this Cybertruck that is may or may not be coming this year. I want hardware 4.0 just so there's no phantom 18-wheel detector parked next to me in my garage. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Wait, I missed it. I'm in Colorado. I got my 2023 Model 3 in April. Model Y Performance, Fremont Factory. Ooh, I don't know. I mean, there's a $5,000 EV tax credit for Colorado, but it seems like it only starts after July 1st, as well as the Maryland one, so might not qualify. Any possibility of the full self-driving rights transferred to a different Tesla for the same owner? Any possibility of these full self-driving rights transferred to a different Tesla for the same owner? It's nope. That's one of the bigger things that a lot of people asked Tesla for feedback, and a lot of people recommended that. But I do not believe that they haven't done it yet. But who knows? But right now it does not transfer. But they should do that. They should make a transfer for people that have invested $15,000. Last question. By the way, I've been watching all your vids. Great stuff. No, thank you, Incognito. Thanks for dropping by, hitting the like button and supporting. Definitely check out our links down below if you want to support even more. Should I buy a Model 3 in June or wait for the refresh? Tough question, because who knows when this refresh is actually coming out. June, Tesla is going to pull out all the stops. That's my prediction, at least. They could be pulling out all the different incentives. Here's some of them that I put down on a list that I predict could be happening in the next month for Model 3 only. Could be 1 year free supercharging. I don't know about 1 year free Tesla insurance. Maybe, of course, an added discount. We could see more discounts in the next month. But this one I really think could be happening very, very soon. 3.99% financing APR for Tesla Model 3s. That, if I were to guess, I mean, they've done free supercharging in the past, so that could be a big thing that they could do very, very easily. But 3.99% APR financing, if they did that for buyers of Model 3, A, if you've been on the fence, would you order? And then B, if you've got a Model Y order right now, would you switch to a Model 3 just for the lower financing APR, or would you just stick with a Model Y? Will there be a retrofit a Model Y? Elon and the Tesla team has said that there will not be a retrofit for Hardware 4.0, but who knows? I think Colorado was one of those few states at first to give a massive tax credit for EV. They're still giving so much. Yeah, I guess they're really trying to support the EVs out there in that state. So it makes sense. But thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for hitting the like button. Thanks for hitting the support button. Thanks for all the comments. Definitely check out our Patreon link down below in the description if you want to support the channel even some more, or even schedule a call with me to ask me any questions about buying a Tesla and get access to my Tesla buying guide, which has links to all the credit unions and banks out there that have lower interest rates than Tesla's financing, lower than Tesla's 5.59%. If you're out there and if you haven't placed an order yet, or you're about to place an order on an inventory vehicle, please consider using our Tesla referral code down below in the description so you can get Tesla supercharging miles as well. And on top of that, there is Tesla discount codes down below in the description for Tesla accessories. You got 3D Mass USA, premium floor mats for your Tesla, to my Jaguar, Tesla, and MAGBAK as well. A couple more questions and then we'll be signing off for the day. When they roll out the Highland refresh with the alleged new interior, do you see many people getting rid of their current vehicles for the updated version? Yes. Is Hardware 4 being released on all Model Ys, including all-wheel drive, or just a long range and performance one? I think all Model Ys, but Warfox, probably long range as of now. It seems to be all of them, but I did hear that maybe it was a long range and performance only, but it really depends on the VIN, and it seems like you can ask your advisors beforehand to try and confirm. But thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for supporting. Thanks for the like button, and I'll see you guys in the next one.